Be me, Rachel, 34, middle school English teacher. Consider myself pretty socially aware, always been the first to call out inequality when I see it, spent my 20s volunteering for women's shelters, attending rallies, having those necessary conversations at dinner parties. I'm just aware, you know? Monday morning, Vice Principal asks me to cover Mr. Thompson's health class for a week. He's out on emergency leave. Something about his brother. Sure, whatever. Easy week for me. Walk into his classroom Tuesday. See, he left his lesson plans. Week 3 of Contemporary Social Issues Unit. Skim through his notes. Looks pretty standard. Then I see Thursday's lesson. Hidden Demographics. Understanding Invisible Populations. Packet of statistical handouts, already photocopied, sitting on his desk. Wednesday night. Prepping for tomorrow's lesson. Actually read through the handouts for first time. First page is about homeless populations. Expect the usual stuff about how we need more resources, typical awareness content. Then I see the breakdown. 78% of homeless individuals are male. Wait, what? Read it again. Surely that's a typo. Google it on my phone. Nope. Multiple sources confirm. Some show even higher percentages. Okay, that's weird. Never really thought about it. Always pictured homeless people as, like, everyone? Maybe more women with kids? Literally every advocacy article I've ever read focused on homeless women and children. Whatever. Maybe that's just one weird statistic. Flip to next page. Workplace fatality statistics. 92% of workplace deaths are men. Stare at this for a full minute. That can't be right. Google again. Bureau of Labor Statistics confirms. 94% in some years. Holy shit. Thinking about all those conversations I've had about workplace discrimination. Never once mentioned this. Never even knew this. Page 3 is about suicide rates. Men complete suicide at 3.5 times the rate of women. Middle-aged white men have the highest rate. Rates have been climbing for decades. Feel weird tightness in my chest. Why have I never heard this discussed? Like, anywhere? Next page. Educational achievement gaps. Boys are falling behind girls at every level. Fewer boys graduating high school. Fewer men enrolling in college. 2 women for every 1 man in higher education now. Boys diagnosed with learning disabilities at twice the rate. Boys disciplined more frequently for same behaviors. My own classroom flashes through my mind. The boys who struggle. The ones I've maybe been less patient with. Fuck. Keep reading. Hands starting to shake a little. Family court statistics. Mothers receive primary custody in 80 to 90% of cases, even when fathers request custody. Child support enforcement versus alimony enforcement rates. Incarceration rates for non-payment. Fathers who lose jobs still owe back payments, can't get modifications. Think about my friend Amanda's divorce. How we all rallied around her. How we called her ex a deadbeat. How he tried to explain he'd been laid off. How we didn't listen. Oh God. Next section is about domestic violence resources. There are over 2,000 domestic violence shelters for women in the US. Fewer than 10 for men. Male victims report being turned away from shelters. Hotlines that don't take them seriously. Or assume they're the abuser. Read a quoted statistic that 40% of DV victims are male. Feel like I'm reading science fiction. This can't be real. But it's all cited. All sourced. Government data. University studies. Peer-reviewed journals. Last handout is testimonials. Actual quotes from men about their experiences. First one. I tried to tell my doctor I was depressed. He told me to go to the gym and man up. I attempted suicide 3 weeks later. Survived, obviously. Never told anyone again. Second. My ex-wife has full custody. I see my kids every other weekend. I've never missed a payment. Never been arrested. No addiction issues. The judge just said kids need their mother. I asked what I did wrong. Nobody could answer. Third. I was homeless for 2 years. Every shelter was for women and children only. I slept outside a building with a women's crisis center on the first floor. The irony wasn't lost on me. Fourth. My girlfriend hit me during arguments. Left bruises. I called a DV hotline once. The woman asked me what I did to provoke her. I never called again. Fifth. I'm a teacher. Elementary. I love my job. But I'm the only man in the building. Parents request their kids not be in my class. I have to keep my door open during parent conferences. Been accused twice of inappropriate behavior that was proven false. I'm exhausted from defending my existence. Have to put the papers down. Feel sick. Thursday morning, hands still shaking as I pass out the handouts. Teach the lesson on autopilot. Kids are weirdly quiet as they read. One boy, Mark, raises his hand. Miss Rachel, my uncle killed himself last year. Entire class goes silent. Everyone kept saying they didn't see it coming, but he posted about feeling alone all the time. Nobody asked him about it. Mark is crying now. My mom said he needed to be stronger. I didn't know what that meant. I don't know what to say. Girl named Sophie speaks up. My dad hasn't seen me in 3 years because of the custody thing. He tried really hard, but my mom's lawyer said some stuff, and now he only gets supervised visits, and he can't afford it. Another kid. My brother dropped out of college. Said he felt stupid. Said all the programs were for girls. Class devolves into this raw sharing session I'm completely unprepared for. These kids have been seeing this their whole lives. They've watched the men in their families suffer, and they've been absorbing the message that it doesn't matter. Bell rings. Kids file out quietly. Sit at Thompson's desk alone. Start really digging on my laptop. Find academic papers about the empathy gap. Studies showing people are less sympathetic to male suffering. Experiments where identical scenarios get different responses based on gender of victim. Find discussions about disposability. How male lives are valued less in crisis situations. Women and children first. Always. Find articles written by men trying to discuss these issues. Read the comment sections. Holy fucking shit. Men being called incels, losers, bitter. Told to man up. Told they're derailing. Told their problems aren't real problems. Told they're part of the problem. See comments from women like me. Dismissive, mocking, hostile. Feel like I'm going to throw up. Spend entire weekend falling down this research rabbit hole. Can't stop reading. Find forums where men discuss their experiences. Not angry manifestos. Just tired conversations. Men asking each other how to cope. Sharing suicide hotline numbers. Talking about their kids they never see. Their jobs that might kill them. Their depression they can't admit. Their loneliness they have to hide. One post destroys me. I don't hate women. I don't blame feminism. I just wish someone cared that I'm suffering. That's all. Just acknowledgement that I'm human. And I'm hurting. Hundreds of responses agreeing. Monday morning, can barely function. Teaching classes in a daze. Keep looking at the boys differently. Mark, who lost his uncle. Tyler, who lives with his grandma because both parents had addiction issues, but mum got custody until she OD'd. James, who's so quiet, so careful, apologizes for everything. Lunch break. Colleague Jessica sits with me. You okay? You seem off. I don't know what to say. Blurt out. Did you know 92% of workplace deaths are men? She blinks. No? Is that real? And male suicide rates, and homelessness, and custody outcomes, and start crying right there in the teacher's lounge. Full breakdown. She's hugging me, confused as hell. Rachel, what's going on? Why didn't anyone tell us? Why didn't they tell us? She has no idea what I'm talking about. Try to explain everything I've learned. She listens, gets quieter. I mean, men don't really talk about feelings though, right? That's like toxic masculinity or whatever. Something clicks in my brain. Jessica, what if we're part of why they don't? She's defensive now. What? No. We're supportive of men being vulnerable. Are we though? Really? Think about every time a guy tried to share something real. How we reacted. My ex-boyfriend David told me once he felt directionless and scared about the future. I told him to go to therapy, but also kind of lost respect for him. Felt less attracted to him after that. We broke up 2 months later. I told friends he was too much and needed to work on himself. Oh my God, I'm part of this. Jessica is talking, but I'm not listening. I'm remembering every conversation, every dismissal, every time I centered women's issues and got annoyed when men brought up their own. Called it derailing, called it whataboutism. What if it wasn't? What if they were just asking to be included in the conversation about suffering? Go home that night? Can't eat? Call my brother. We're not super close, but I need to talk to a man I trust. Hey sis, what's up? Ryan, can I ask you something? Sure. Are men okay? Long silence. That's a weird question. I know. I'm serious though. Are you okay? Like, you and your friends? Another pause. Why are you asking? Explain some of what I learned. Hear him breathing on the other end. Ryan? I tried to talk about this stuff once. At a party. Remember Jenny's birthday? Like 3 years ago. Vaguely remember. I mentioned the suicide thing and the custody thing. You told me I was being an MRA. Feel like I've been punched. I did? Yeah. You got pretty angry, actually. Said I was minimizing women's issues. I wasn't. I was going through something. My friend had just lost his kids in a custody battle. He was destroyed. I wanted to talk about it. Tears streaming down my face. I'm so sorry. It's fine. It's not fine. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Longest pause yet. Honestly? No. Most of us aren't. But we learn not to talk about it. Why not? Because when we do, we get reactions like you gave me at that party. Or worse, we're told we're weak. Or we're trying to silence women. Or we're dangerous. Or we need therapy, but also therapy is full and too expensive. And also seeking therapy means admitting we can't handle our shit. So, what do? We suffer in silence. We die in silence. We cope however we can. Ryan, I gotta go, Rach. Dinner's ready. He hangs up. Sit on my couch in the dark. Can't stop thinking. Next day, try to talk to other teachers about it. Most brush it off. One male teacher, David, different David, stays after. You reading about men's issues? Yeah. I had no idea about most of this. He laughs. But it's bitter. Yeah. We know. Why didn't you say anything? I tried. At that equity training last year, remember? Oh fuck. I do remember. He brought up something about how boys were struggling in literacy. The consultant leading the training said that was derailing. I agreed with her. Publicly. I'm sorry. He shrugs. It's fine. I get it. Everyone has their causes. It's not fine, though. This isn't like some niche issue. Men are dying. Yeah. We are. Literally and figuratively. So why not fight back? Why not make noise? He looks at me like I'm stupid. And be called what? A misogynist? An incel? A men's rights activist? Like it's a slur? Lose my job because someone says I'm threatening? We've watched what happens to men who complain. What happens? They get destroyed. Publicly. Their careers end. They become examples. So we shut up. We take it. We die quietly. He leaves. I'm alone in my classroom again. Think about every activist space I've been in. Every meeting. Every rally. Every organization. Men were there. Supporting. Listening. Amplifying. When did they get to talk? When did we listen? Find a men's issues forum online that night. Just reading. Not posting. See a thread. Have any women ever acknowledged this stuff? Hundreds of replies. Mostly, no. Some, one time. But then she forgot. One. My sister did, after I attempted. She felt bad for a week. Then everything went back to normal. Another. They don't want to know. Knowing makes them complicit. That one hits different. Am I complicit? Have I been complicit this whole time? Friday. End of the week covering Thompson's class. He's back Monday. Feel like I need to do something with this information. But what? Try talking to friends at happy hour. You guys ever think about men's issues? Immediate groans. Oh God, Rachel. Did you get red-pilled? What? No, Men have all the advantages. They're fine. But the suicide rates. That's because of toxic masculinity. They need to fix their own problems. But what if we're part of the problem? Friend Vanessa actually gets angry. Are you serious right now? Women have been oppressed for centuries. I'm not saying we haven't. I'm just saying maybe men are also. Also what? Suffering? Cry me a river. They run the world. Do they, though? Like individual men? The ones dying at work? The ones sleeping on the street? The ones... Oh my God. I can't believe you right now. What happened to you? Conversation ends. They think I've lost it. Maybe I have. Weekend alone with my thoughts. Keep coming back to one question. Why didn't they tell us? But I know the answer now. They did. We didn't listen. We got angry when they tried. We called them names. We dismissed them. We told them to man up. We told them they were derailing. We told them their problems weren't real problems. We told them they were the problem, so they stopped talking. And we pretended that meant everything was fine. Monday. Thompson is back. I catch him before school. Hey, thanks for covering. Of course. How's your brother? His face falls. We buried him on Saturday. Stomach drops. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Yeah, suicide. World stops. He left a note. Said he was tired of being invisible. Tired of hurting and having nobody care. Tears in his eyes. He tried to get help. Called hotlines. They put him on hold. Tried to get therapy. Waitlist was 6 months. Tried to talk to friends. They told him to hit the gym. Both crying now in this empty hallway. I'm teaching that unit every year now. Because these kids need to see this. Someone needs to see this. I saw it. I finally saw it. He nods. What are you going to do about it? Don't have an answer. That week, that month, everything feels different. See male suffering everywhere now. The dad at parent-teacher conferences who's not allowed to pick up his own kid without supervision. The janitor who works 3 jobs and still sleeps in his car. The teenage boy who asks me why boys are doing worse in school and I don't have a good answer. The male teacher who eats lunch alone every day because he's not included in social events, too risky. Try bringing it up online. Get called to pick me. Get told I'm seeking male attention. Get told I'm a traitor. Lose followers. Don't care. Can't unsee this. Try talking to my mum. Mom, did you know about the male suicide rates? Of course, honey. It's very sad. Why didn't you ever mention it? She thinks about it, I suppose. Well, it's just how things are. Men have always been the ones who go to war, do dangerous work, that sort of thing. But doesn't that seem wrong? That we just accept it? I mean, what can we do? Men are stronger. They can handle it. They're killing themselves. They can't handle it. They're literally dying because they can't handle it. She's uncomfortable now. Well, women have problems too, you know. I know. I'm not saying we don't. I'm saying maybe we have room in our hearts for both. She changes the subject. 3 months later. Still processing all of this. Changed how I teach. More patient with struggling boys. Call out girls when they're dismissive of boys in class discussions. Notice things I never noticed before. Started a quiet conversation with some male teachers. They're shocked I'm listening. They're grateful. They're also scared I'll stop listening. One tells me, I've been teaching for 20 years. You're the first woman who's ever asked me if I'm okay. Really asked. That breaks my heart, but also fills me with purpose. Don't have answers yet. I don't know how to fix this. Don't know how to make people care. But I'm trying to listen, trying to see, trying to make space. Trying to acknowledge that suffering isn't a competition, that compassion isn't finite, that men are human beings who deserve empathy. Revolutionary thoughts, apparently. Still feminist. Still care about women's issues, but also now care about everyone's issues. Crazy concept. The question still haunts me though. Why didn't they tell us? But I know, they did. We just weren't listening. And now, so many are gone, silently suffering until they weren't suffering anymore. Just gone. And we never knew. Or worse, we knew and didn't care. That's the part that kills me. We knew. And we didn't care. My face when I realize I spent years advocating for compassion and empathy, while extending neither to half the population. My face when I called myself aware while being completely blind. My face when I'm part of the problem I claim to be solving. I still don't know what to do with all this. But at least now I'm listening. At least now I see them. At least now I know. The men who are suffering in silence, not because they're weak, but because we made silence their only option. And I'll carry that guilt forever.